it's such a rare find, and particularly a rare find to reflect the Black experience in New York, which has been here for centuries, since it was New Amsterdam.
The building is not, a dramatic, beautiful piece of architecture. That's not what's important here. What's important is the people connected to it and the story behind it.
Well, it was one of a group of buildings that was part of a system of racial caste schools, which is to say schools that were designated for African American students and African American teachers throughout most of the 19th century. The journey started for me through my research for this book on James H. Williams, who had been a pupil here. He was the first Black red cap at Grand Central Terminal. So there were a lot of heavyweights of the time who either attended the school or taught at the school. There was notable teachers like Imogen Howard, who was selected by the governor of New York State to represent New York at the Columbian Exposition. There was a fellow by the name of Walter F. Craig. He was one of the most notable Black violinists of the time. And then there was the principal, who was a super person, and this was Sarah J. Tompkins Garnett. And it wasn't just a school for kids. When it opened in 1860, it also opened an evening school for adults. It was a pillar of the neighborhood, but it really represents a system of Black agency and Black resistance, because there was a heavy emphasis on getting an education.
Unearthing that there was this surviving remnant was a really, really important piece of New York's history that had been largely forgotten or overlooked. So it's part of New York's long story of slavery, manumission, equality. It's an incredibly important part of it when we were moving away from segregation and towards integration. This is really the tip of the iceberg. There's a lot more that the city should be doing in terms of representing and preserving African American history and all of the diverse histories of New York City. And we need to not have to fight to get these buildings recognized, but have a real partnership with the city moving ahead with protecting this history.
It would be such a missed opportunity not to preserve this and use this as a teaching moment for the entire city.